this year. And he came out of this little, very low-income town in the Mississippi Delta, went to Eastern Michigan on a football scholarship, winds up being Secretary of Transportation in a country that keeps reducing barriers. We're going to break another barrier tomorrow. We're going to choose hope over fear. We're going to choose unity over division. And we're going to prove that we are neither as dumb nor as selfish as some people think we are. Who do? Including the people that come to this community college, including non-college educated, middle-aged workers who've been out of work for a while. They deserve their chance to get the piece of the American dream back. And nobody's right all the time, so we all do better than when we work together. That's what President Obama proved when he left the campaign trail, went back to the White House, went to work on Sandy in its aftermath with the Republican governor of New Jersey, the independent mayor of New York, and the Democratic governors of Connecticut and New York. That's what we want more of. I'm for the candidate who has been a good and faithful Commander-in-Chief of our armed forces, who has ended the Iraq War as he promised, is bringing the troops home from Afghanistan, has fought terrorism and pushed diplomacy to make a world with more partners and fewer enemies, and, by the way, appointed a heck of a Secretary of State. I'm for the Commander-in-Chief who was endorsed by that self-described moderate Republican, a rarer breed, Colin Powell. I'm for the candidate who fits the bill that George Bush, believe it or not, once described as the job of the president. Now, some people made fun of him, but he told the truth. He said, the president is the decider-in-chief. Barack Obama decided to sign the Lilly Ledbetter Fair Pay Act. Now, his opponent who says he's a great decider, got a great plan, you'll have to see me after the election about the details. But everybody knows I'm good at this. Just take my word for it, whatever it is. So he was asked a simple question. This law has been on the books for a couple of years now. In the second debate, he said, would you have signed the law? There are two answers, yes and no. So when they asked Governor Romney, would you have signed the Fair Pay Act? He said, well, he said, I had some binders with women's names. Approved the restructuring. Now, his opponent was against it. At least he made a decision. He said, you just shouldn't let them be liquidated. And then, lo and behold, it worked like a charm. And on the theory that everybody in America has a severe case of that great public health epidemic the president called amnesia, he has offered various wordings to try to convince us that he wasn't against it, but he was, and everybody in Ohio and America now knows it. So when that didn't work, from Ohio to want your president to tell you the truth. Yeah! The job for the American people. Love that? Yeah! We have all the cooperation in the community college. You like that? Yeah! That's the way you create jobs. You look all over America. The places that are doing well have government and business and foundations and universities and colleges working together. What is Obama's plan? Invest in the new technologies that we know are going to grow. In information technology, in biotechnology, in clean energy, in modern manufacturing, in modern agriculture. And train and educate people to do that. He has invested in preschool, in the race to the top, and the finest student loan reform in my lifetime. Now, next year, if the president is reelected, here's what's going to happen. You can say when you make it happen. Because I want you to know 1,000 people working in the wind energy business, electrifying 180,000 homes, and you haven't even started with what you could be doing here to own the future, be independent, and by management and labor and environmental groups to double car mileage over the next few years, which will cut your gas bill in half, create another 150,000 jobs. He wants to repeal it, so you'll have to spend more on gas. I couldn't make this up. But the worst thing is, he wants to repeal that student loan reform, give the $60 billion in subsidies back to the banks, raise the cost of the loans, make them harder to repay, increase the college dropout rate, and compromise the economic future of the country. I want Barack Obama to be the next president. 80 to 85% of your premiums has to go to your health care, not profits or promotion. Over $1 billion is paid in refunds to Americans, including 575,000 families in Pennsylvania. 3 million young Americans, 19 to 25, are now insured for the first time on their parents' policy. Next year, 30 million Americans will be able to buy health insurance for the first time, including millions with pre-existing conditions. I have said this till I'm blue in the face. I hope people will believe me now. There's a huge article on the front page of USA Today a couple weeks ago explaining that exploding health care costs were the reason millions of Americans did not get any pay raises in the last decade. Their employers had to pay for it in insurance premiums. Now, under Obamacare, all over America, people are looking for economical ways to hold down the cost and increase the premiums. The quality of care. Like the Geisinger group, you know, in eastern Pennsylvania here, they all guarantee that if you have to go back to the hospital for a few months after they work on you, whatever the reason is, they'll pay for it. It can't be used to increase your premium. There are things like that going on all over America. America will get 12 million jobs in the next 4 years. We said, but Governor, you won't even give us a budget. President Obama's given us a $4 trillion debt reduction. See me about that after the election, too. I'm telling you, they're going to be happy. And we'll get 12 million jobs. I'm sure it is just a coincidence. Or maybe even Governor Romney caught a case of amnesia, because it's everywhere. But a few days before he told us we were going to get 12 million jobs, an independent business forecaster named Moody's Analytics, you can go home and look at it on a computer, says in the next 4 years, we're going to get 12 million new jobs if we just don't mess up what has already been done under President Obama. I want those jobs to build a shared prosperity, a country with shared responsibilities, a country where we're coming together instead of being divided. I want that country to be led by a man who calls our hopes, not our fears, to be the dominant driving force. A man who wants us all to work together. A man who wants us to lift our sights to the future. I want Barack Obama, and you do too.